First, we're going to start with chapter 4, which is talking all about the media and dealing with them. The first thing that she states is that she was having this in-call interview with this news person, media, and all of a sudden they just say, there's a bear loose in Beaverton. Now, I know Mrs. White is from near that area, and you can ask her. I'm sure a bear in Beaverton is not a normal occurrence. Now, my dad is also from kind of around that area. He's really from around Cloverdale area, which is about half an hour away from what I understand. And a bear being out in the wild of this small little, suburbs town of Beaverton, Oregon, is not normal. And so she immediately took the phone, slammed it, said bye, and put it down. And that was the nicest thing that she could have done for that media person, because working in the media, it is a going process. And you have to keep going. You have to roll with the punches. The best advice that she gives is that you just kind of need to shed your sensitive skin and deal with it. For lack of better terms, suck it up, buttercup. Next, we're going to talk about chapter 5, which is all about print and online mediums. They end up overlapping a lot, and most things that are put into print do end up going online, but also there is a sense of kind of looseness and edginess that comes with just posting stuff online. The best example that I can give for this is Adam Schefter. He is a reporter for the NFL and ends up breaking a lot of trades before the teams end up breaking them. But a lot of times he never really posts stuff in the newspaper or in print. It's pretty much only online. And typically it's, hey, the Washington Commanders have traded X player to Y team for this. It usually just says draft compensation and a player, but it doesn't really give a lot of details. And it's usually just a loose thing and letting you know that, hey, your team traded for a player. The details will be released soon. And that's when the actual full article will come out, which will usually end up going to print and digital. In the sports world, it's pretty much only digital, but an example like this can be seen in a regular news world. Chapter 5 is all about writing and planning and timelines and figuring out what you're going to put online or in print. Now, with chapter 6, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give it some steroids. We're going to make it about 10 times harder, add a lot of pressure, just dial up that pressure a lot, and that's what we call TV media. The TV room is basically a ton of chaos with a lot of visuals and a lot more pressure than it is with the media. You see, with print media, you really only have to worry about the words that are being written, whereas with TV media, you're also worried about what it looks like. That becomes a big issue sometimes. One pro tip is the best time to be able to get coverage is around 10 a.m. so that it can come out for the 12 o'clock news, and then they'll also end up recapping it for the 6 p.m. and possibly 7 p.m. news as well, depending on your local stations, of course. And now we're supposed to end with, in chapter 4, it talks about 6 different media rules that you're supposed to follow. And we're supposed to pick one that we like or don't like and say why. Personally, I think rule number 2 is my favorite, and it says this. It's make your personal introduction brief. I've heard it said 1,000 times. People don't care who you are. They really only care what you can do for them. My pastor is quoted, probably hundreds of times, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. But really, they don't care who you are. They really just want to know what you're going to do for them. So it's best when you're talking to media to keep the introduction of yourself very short and very simple. And with this, especially when you're talking to people in the newsroom or in the TV room, you may not have time for a 15-minute phone call. You may only have 2-3 minutes maximum, and you have to be able to give your entire pitch for your story in those 3 minutes. It's called an elevator pitch. Think of it like the amount of time that you would spend in an elevator is how much time you have to convince them to cover your story. Anyway, Dr. White, that is going to do it for me today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.